Hello and good afternoon. How is everyone? Hopefully everyone is well. This is Ben over at Idle Homes over in Spain. I just want to wish everyone a good day and thank you very much for spending the time and actually being part of this today. Hopefully you'll find the information useful and beneficial, and if there is anything that you want to discuss with us on a one-to-one basis, please feel free to contact us separately. Apologies to anyone who has contacted us within the last couple of weeks. I've had nothing but technical problems with my laptop, hence why my camera is looking absolutely awful today, because I'm on my mobile phone, which is prehistoric. And so we'll be getting around to all the questions and sending all the forms, etc., out that's been requested during the course of next week. For anybody who does not wish to appear on any of our social media sites, please mute your microphones and turn off your cameras. Also, if you can keep your microphones muted for the duration of the conversation, as this will help with us with the flow of the conversation and avoid any overlaps. So, just to really go into who we are, if you're not aware of Idle Homes as a company and what we do and what we're about, just to keep things simple, we are an estate agency based over in Portugal, which is where our head office is, and we have obviously a branch over in the Costa Blanca and the Murcia region of Spain to service the areas there. And our remit, to keep things very, very short and simple, is to really find you the right property in the right area that ticks all the right boxes for you, dependent on what you need the property to do for you. So, we're in Florida, we're in Spain, we're in Portugal, we're in Cape Verde, we're in numerous countries around the world. I obviously represent just Spain, but if you do have interests elsewhere, please feel free to contact us. So we can offer you all the assistance you need. That can be from legal advice to currency exchange, also finding the right location, the buying process, recommended solicitors, etc. So really all the facets of buying a property abroad, so you don't feel left alone for any particular reason or for any duration of time. So just to recap, we discussed on our last seminar, which you can catch on our Idle Homes page on YouTube, Idle Homes International on YouTube, we were talking about the golden visa, we were talking about closing costs, we were also talking about things like inheritance tax, well, basically all the costs and finances involved with buying a property abroad. So if you didn't catch that, please feel free to go onto YouTube, onto Idle Homes International, and you'll be able to get all the information there. So what we're going to do today is really discuss very, very briefly and broadly, but obviously giving you more concise information on a one-to-one basis, the opportunities from resales to new builds, because there are two modes of thought, which is, do we go for a new build or do we go for a resale? Is there any cost implication from going from one to the other? And really, what should benefit me? So I'll just sort of start off generally by letting you know that the majority of the Costa Blanca going down into Murcia, the regions have been established for quite some time. So what this means is that the properties will tend to be slightly older. I mean, you could be looking from sort of, anywhere from 25, 20 years ago since it was built. And you'll find that because it's older, it will be in a slightly better location. So you will either be paying for location or you'll be paying for the condition of the property. If the property is slightly closer to the coast, offers all the amenities within walking distance, maybe it's half an hour away from the airport, very close to golf courses, you'll find that you're going to be paying for the location, but not necessarily for the condition of the property. So the property itself may need some renovation, it may need some modernization. And one thing which is something that you really will have to sort of take into consideration is the energy efficiency of properties here. So obviously if properties are built sort of 15, 20 years ago, where the building regulations were maybe slightly different, you will find that the energy ratings will be slightly different. Maybe they're not using double glazing, maybe they don't have adequate heating and cooling of the property. And that will have an impact on your overall figure. So what you will have in that instance is a trade-off. Usually, this is usually, speaking again on a broad basis, do you go slightly further away from the coastline and go for something which is newer, even possibly even cheaper, maybe doesn't have all the amenities within walking distance, so you may need a car, but you're going for something which is brand new, has a building guarantee, has fantastic views, maybe a short drive from the airport, close to golf courses, but doesn't need any modernization whatsoever? Or would you prefer to be closer to the coast, closer to the beach, closer to amenities, but maybe having then to spend an additional 15, 20,000 euros modernizing the property to bring it up to today's standards. And that really is obviously something that you will sort of tussle between and really think what, again, going back to my previous talks, what is your purpose for the property? What is your driving factor? If the property is for rentals, then yes, maybe it might be worth going for somewhere which is closer to the coast. Maybe somewhere if you have to spend maybe 5 or 10,000 euros as an additional extra to modernize the property, but it's going to stand out, therefore giving you a slightly better rental income. Is it going to be justifiable? Obviously, we can cross that bridge when we come to it. So those are really the main two factors, is that the properties which are older will be closer to the coastline, because obviously it's been established for many years. But properties that are slightly further away in emerging markets, in emerging areas, won't have any modernization at all. They'll be new, they'll be all singing, all dancing, and ready to move into straight away, turnkey properties. Another sort of factor to also bear in mind as well is that the building style has changed. So what you will find here is traditionally, sort of going back, say, anywhere up to, say, 2008, 2010, between that sort of time duration, is that properties were built as a 2-bed, 1-bath. So if you go for a property which is close to the coast, let's say, for instance, Torrevieja, which is close to the coastline, it's close to the airport, literally everything you need within walking distance, you will not have to have a car at all. You will find that the majority of the properties there, the apartments, are 2-bed, 1-bath, or 1-bed, 1-bath, or 3-bed, 1-bath. They tend not to have the en-suites like we're used to nowadays in the newer build construction. So are you willing to then sacrifice the extra bathroom for the, again, proximity to the coastline, or is that not important to you? Most people find that they would prefer to have the 2-bed, 1-bath because they find, or 2-bed, 2-bath, sorry, because they find that they would like their privacy if they have family around, etc. So for them, it is important. And also from a rental aspect, I do find that the 2-bed, 2-bath rental properties are slightly better than the 2-bed, 1-bath. But again, everything is on a case-by-case basis. The older properties also tend, and again, this is not location specific, this is a generalization, but tend not to have a lift or any type of, obviously you want to have a lift on a low rise, but if it's high rise, some of the properties don't have a lift or access to a lift. Now, if obviously you're wanting that, if you don't want to be on the ground floor or the first floor, maybe you have disabilities that sort of restrict you from taking on board stairs, then is a lift important, in which case maybe moving slightly further away from the coastline onto a property that has maybe 2-bed, 2-bath with lift access is going to be slightly more advantageous to you. Just something to bear in mind. The other thing as well is that the new build properties with the building conditions, I think I did touch on this earlier, the building regulations, etc. Now the insulation on properties is fantastic. They're very well insulated. The double glazing is brilliant. Climate lit in most occasions, so obviously it will keep the property cool in the summer, but also retain the heat if you are going to heat the property using air conditioning during the winter months, whereby sometimes on a slightly older property, you will not have that insulation. So again, going back to the energy efficiency, always check what the criteria is there and where your property would sit and what modernization or what money you would have to inject into the property in order for it to meet today's standards. So we are going to be talking about a development in particular. I have a very good colleague of mine, Anna, who's going to be joining us today. And she's going to be talking about 2 developments that we promote in great detail. So again, if you do have any questions, if you can just make a note of them and we can cover them at the end. But Anna, please, if you wouldn't mind taking it away, and I'll give you the mic.
Okay. Well, hello. Hi to all. It's a pleasure to be with you today. And my name is Anna. I'm a partnership with Ideal Homes for these 2 developments. I'm Spanish, and I am from Murcia, but I live in Alicante. Then I know very well the area of Costa Cali and Costa Blanca. Then we have 2 nice developments that I'm going to introduce yourself. New builds. Okay, one of them is a very good opportunity. Both of them are very good opportunity due to the relation quality of price. One is in a golf resort, and the other one is in a beachside. then we can compare the two different specific that Ben has been talking before, okay? Because, well, one of them was Ben say that now what we have seen here that is useful to say, is easy to sell 2-bedroom, 2-bathrooms apartment, also for the rental conditions, and because it's more comfortable as well. Then one of them, the one in the Gulf, is in a golf resort in Murcia that is called in Condado Alhama. This golf resort was very, very famous in 2000 because it was doing by Polaris World. It's a golf resort with 18 holes, and more is 6 million of meters square. Then it's a very big golf resort. And this one, from 2000 to 2008, they were built 3,000 apartments there. Then this all built 3,000 apartments. As Ben says, he was doing in 2000, they were all of them 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, or 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, an all traditional style. From 2008, the crisis came and no more construction there until now, until last year. The good things there that there are already like 1,000 people living there permanently all year. There is a mix between Spanish, British, and Belgium mainly. And the good thing of this golf resort is also they have already a shopping center with a supermarket. Then you have all services and amenities. You're in a walking distance. You are 15 minutes from the international airport of Murcia, and the beach is 20 minutes by car. And you are in the middle of 2 towns. One is Alhama, and the other one is Mazarrón. Then it's quite well situated and quite well communicated. Then this development is our first development that we are doing now, 64 apartments and 50 villas. The good thing is the starting price. They are 2-bedroom, 2-bathrooms apartment, first line of court, 75 meters square, 18 meters square terrace, and the price is starting in 99,900 euros. And all with southwest orientation that you have sun almost all day, and first line of court. Beautiful views of the Gulf from the terrace. Later we can send you some information and pictures about. It's modern style, very well isolated, as I've been saying, with a very high efficiency certificate. That's very, very important. Just behind this construction, you have the shopping center. This is a shopping center where you have the supermarket, a Spar supermarket, you have bars, hairdresser, restaurant, a bank, and you have life during all year. We have the villas as well. That is a very good investment because the price there are villas for 200-meter plots with solarium, with porch, and the price is starting in 159,000 euros. And you have the shopping center just behind as well. Then what we were focusing, when Ben told me that I want to introduce 2 developments, I knew that I need to talk about this one as well, because now the situation that we are living now is like, okay, I want to buy something, I would like to buy something in Spain, and what I like is to buy something at a good price, that I'm not going to lose my money, and later if I want to rent it, or if I want to sell it, or even if I want to enjoy it, or to live permanently here, I want to buy something that has a very good relation quality price. And this development has this. Then all the apartments are 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms. Then they're in the resort from the old ones that they are all sold already. You cannot find it because they are all 1 bathroom. And all of them have terrace. The ground floor have a very big gardens of around 100-meter square gardens. And the penthouse have a solarium. Then there are blocks of apartment or 4 apartments per floor. In a building, you have only 16 apartments, and the apartments are 77 meters square. Okay, fantastic views. It's calm. It's received this calm. Security, 24-hour security, maintenance and cleaning. You have also sport facilities and a sports center with a gym, and a lot of activities organizing every day. Then that's very nice. For the villas as well, the villas are from 200-meter plots to 400-meter plots, or 2-bedroom, 2 bathrooms, or 3-bedroom, 2 bathrooms villa, and also 3-bedroom, 3 bathrooms. All of them with solarium, with gardens, and have a big living space, all modern with open kitchen and living room, and very comfortable to live. Well, this development, we have chosen this development as well because for the rental options that they have. Of course, here, this golf course is very renewable because there is a lot of people that they come to play golf there. He was designed by Jack Nicklaus, that is a very famous architect for golf course and player, of course. And the quality, me, I don't play golf, but this is what he told me, that is quite difficult to play golf there. Then there is a lot of people from all countries that they came to Condado Alama just to play golf. And then for rentals, even if you don't play golf, what is good that there is a lot of people that came here to go play golf because you have more rental options. Here you have tourist options, holidays. Of course, that, for example, the tourist options start from April to October, and then from October to April, March, you have golf season. Then you have good opportunities for rentals, even in tourist season for holidays, even in golf season. Okay. The apartments, more or less, have already finished some of them, and you can rent it in high season by 400 euros per week. And if you do a short-term rentals, okay, for high season, and if you want to rent it for all year permanently, you can rent it by 600 euros per month. And then it's always a good opportunity. Even if you want to live there, it's a good investment. And if you want to spend some time there and the rest rented, it's a very good investment as well, because you are going to gain the value very, very fast. Okay. Later, if you have some other questions, we can reply about other questions. I'm going to pass to the other development that is totally different from this one, okay? But it's also a very good opportunity to invest. This one, as Ben said, is a beachside development. It was a building that it was built in 2009, 80 apartments built, and then the crisis came and it was closed, totally closed for 10 years, okay? Then 2 years ago, we take it and we have painting, changing all the doors, changing all the locks, changing the floors. This one, what Ben say about one beachside development, because this one is in La Mata, the best beach in Orihuela Costa, is 5 kilometers of white sand beach, and it's only 600 meters from this development. It's just 7 minutes walk. This one is a old development, but it has been closed, and now it has been modernized already by us. Then when you enter there, it's ready to live. You don't have to do anything. All new. All the white goods are new. The floor are new. The doors are new. It's all painted, ready to live. It's also two bedroom, 2 bathrooms apartments, with terrace as well. A little bit more smaller, 60 meters square, with 15 meter square terrace, okay? And you have parking space as well, and very big communal areas and swimming pool. Nice communal areas and swimming pool maintained all year, because there are a lot of people that they live permanently. The most part of the nationalities that live there are British as well and Belgian, both of them. People that live there permanently. Why? Because it's very difficult to find this kind of development, beachside, modernizing, because you see the structure outside and the structure, you see that it's traditional one. But when you enter inside, it's a modern development. Then that's difficult to find so close to the beach, 700 meters. This one is just in front of a shopping center with all services and amenities, everything. Big shopping center just in front, crossing the street. And the price, the best thing here are the price. The price is starting 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom, 107. 107. Then it's very, very cheap development, very good option for investment and for rentals. That is very, very easy to rent in. Well, also some of that we have selling. We have helped them together with Ideal Homes to rent it, and they get rented very, very fast. Well, this development as well, you can choose. You have 2 options. You can do a traditional kitchen that is closed, or we do the option to a modern American kitchen open with the living room. You have also the 2 different varieties of the 2 models. This one, they have the shopping. The good thing that what's been saying, this one is placed based in La Mata, that belongs to Torrevieja, but it's more it's not in the city center of Torrevieja. It's more in an urbanization that is called in La Mata, 700 meters from the beach, and just in front you have a shopping center where you have as well the Mercadona supermarket, bar, restaurants, banks, pharmacy. Then you have everything in front. Just 5 minutes walking, you have a school. Then when that means that there's a lot of families living there, that they bring the kids to the school. And you have the bus stop just in front of one crossing the street. You have the bus stop that it comes every 20 minutes, and they go really to the city center of Torrevieja and to all the beaches of La Mata and Torrevieja. And you don't need a car. You can go by walk everywhere, and if not, you have the bus to go into if you want to go to the city center of Torrevieja. Then it's very well communicated. This one is just 30 minutes from Alicante Airport, and you have all services and commodities that you need just there.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Thank you ever so much for going over those two developments. Now, with regards to the golf course developments, your 2-bed, 2-bath, you've got, because obviously I've been there myself, so I know that you have fantastic golf views. You've got lake views, and you've also have mountain views. You've got all the facilities you want within walking distance. So I would imagine then that a lot of people would consider the community fees to be relatively high. Can you just sort of give us an idea as to how much the community?
Yeah, sure. This one for the apartments, okay, is 100 euros per month. But the good thing of this resort, like, of course, it included 24-hour security, cleaning and maintenance of all the resort and all the communal areas. Well, sorry, I forget to say that, that these apartments have very nice communal areas and 2 big swimming pools included, okay? And in this golf resort is very particular as well, because they have very big communal areas because it's very wide, and you have more than 25 swimming pools, and you can use all of them. There are very nice green areas with olive trees, palm trees, cleaning swimming pool of the year, and this one is all maintaining with the community fees, okay? Then the community fees, I come back again, is 100 euros for the apartments and include 24-hour security, maintenance and cleaning of all the resort, golf course, sport facilities, shopping center, communal areas, swimming pools, all is included, streets. Then you have included that this is the particular thing. You have included satellite television, satellite TV is included with British channels, Belgian channels, Holland channels, and French channels included in the community fees. And you have 100 giga of fiber optic included also on the community fees. Then in general, these 2 things, satellite TV and internet, normally they are not included in the community fees. And you are going to spend at least 50 euros normally per month. Then as this one is included, you see the normal community fees, the normal one that is security and maintenance, it could be other 50. Then in total will be 100 per month.
And is there any perks?
For the villas?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, for the villa, for the 2-bed villas is 120. For the 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom villa, 130.
Brilliant. Brilliant. And with regards to membership on the golf course, will they look at that? I mean, is there any sort of discounts? Obviously, if you're buying on a golf course, can you just give us some information on that?
Yeah, for if you are not resident in this golf course, your golf fees for all year, okay, the green fee, all year green fee is 2,500. If you are a resident, all year green fee is 1,295. So then you get a discount, almost of a 50% discount to be resident there.
Great. And how far to the nearest beach, and what's the beach like?
Well, the nearest beach there is Puerto de Mazarrón. That is a beautiful fisherman town, but also very touristic as well. Because it's really because you have white sand beaches, long one, but you have as well because Puerto de Mazarrón is just 25 kilometers from there. Motorway, then you go by a car and it's just straight on by a motorway, very good roads. It's just between 15 and 20 minutes driving. Okay? Then you go to this small town, fisherman town, but just now there is a lot of tourists there. Then you have life during all year, all big shopping center, markets, I don't know, clothes, boutiques, everything there. And the beaches are very nice because you have someone that is stones, black stone, where you can go there for fish. It's very nice. There are also you have very big white sand beaches, but you have the big one, but you have also a small one. Around you have all mountains, and then you go down and you have these small beaches. Then it's very, very particular because this, for example, in Costa Blanca, is you cannot going to find in Costa Blanca South. They are all white sand beaches, long, one close to other. Here you have mountains, and then you have these small beaches that you can access by car, and then you go to a beach. And they are not that crowded of people as here as you can find.
And the closest airport would be it'll be Murcia Airport rather than Alicante.
Closest airport is Murcia, that is just 15 minutes driving for them.
Brilliant.
But even from the airport of Alicante, you say, well, there is not a lot of flights from Murcia because it has been opened just last year, and I'm going to have better price as well to going to Alicante. From Alicante airport to Condado de Alhama, you go through Murcia, and it's just 1 hour driving. It's not that much.
And how does that compare with looking at, say, for instance, the La Mata in terms of community costs? And what sort of costs are we looking at in La Mata?
Yeah, well, La Mata, of course, is a building, and it's not, for example, here you are paying because in one building you have 16 apartments. Then in La Mata, in one building you have 80. Then the costs are split with a lot of people. But there in La Mata, the community costs, you have the lift. In both of developments, you have a lift. That's of course. The development of Condado de Alhama is 3 floors. The development of La Mata are 5 floors. The community cost in there is 35 euros per month. And they include the cleaning and the maintenance of everything. But you don't have included, no internet included and no satellite TV included neither.
And for anyone who's not familiar with both of these locations, would you consider both these locations to be high value, high rentable areas? If somebody wanted to use it maybe 2 to 4 weeks in a year, but maybe try and generate enough income to at least cover its own expense, is both of these properties sufficient enough to do that? Well,
I have chosen these two to talk about these two developments because, of course, the price that they have and the condition for rentals that they have at this moment for location is perfect. One, because the one in golf, as I was explaining, you have the 2 seasons. You have the holiday season and you have the golf season. Then you can rent it in both kind of public. And the one in La Mata, also, for example, last week also we're renting, and a lot of people wants to live there because a lot of people want to be close to Torrevieja because it's the city and you have all service and amenities and a lot of things to do. But you prefer to be in a more quiet side, more residential, then this is La Mata. It's very famous in this area, in Orihuela Costa. Everybody knows La Mata, and it's a perfect place to live because it's quiet, but it's very, very nice. And you have the best beach here. And for rentals are good because you have what I told you, that you don't need a car. You have all the service and amenities just in front. You have the bus stop, you have the beach, then you have all the perfect conditions for renting. And you can rent it as well. For high season, they are renting. Also, we have rented there like more than 15 apartments, and they are renting very, very fast. Very fast. And the price for high season, you can rent it there for 500 euros. You can rent it for 500 euros per week, or even 600 euros per week now in summer. Okay? And if you, for long term, you will pay, they will pay as well 600 euros per month.
So will I be right in assuming then that your rentals during the summer would pretty much, or will at least take up a huge proportion of your expenses for the year just by renting during the summer season?
Well, if you rent it during the summer, here the price, for example, in La Mata or Orihuela Costa, that this higher value than, for example, Torrevieja, you can rent it for for example, June, July, say July and August, 3,000 euros per month. June and September, 2,000 per month.
So if somebody wanted to rent during the summer and obviously use throughout the year, maybe rent to friends and family in between time, they can do that, not a problem at all. Yeah. Fantastic.
And imagine what is the revenue that you get when you are paying one apartment that is imagine the average that is 112,000 euros, and you are going to rent it you rent it in July and August, and you are going to gain 6,000 euros just to rent it 2 months.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, obviously I've been to both locations and they are absolutely
stunning. And
stunning.
if you rent even what I say, June, July, August, summer, you get 10,000. Then it's very easy to take this investment, the money that you have invested fast.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I mean, yeah, I've been to both locations and they are both absolutely great. But they're both quite different in what they offer. You know, they will suit one and they will suit another. It just very much depends on what you want the investment vehicle to do for you. And if you just want to have it as a holiday home, then, you know, you would have to sort of assess yourself, you know, what you want the property to give you back. So yeah, no, I totally understand why you selected those two properties.
Yeah, one is just, well, you are in, for example, in La Mata, you are close to a beach. Of course, the quality of the apartments is not very good as the one in the Gulf side, because it's what you have explained. This one, the one in the Gulf, have been started to build in 2019. Then, of course, the quality of the material, the isolation, the efficiency certificates is higher. But this one in La Mata, because of the best thing that they have is the location and the price. And also that you have, even it has been built in 2009, is 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. This is what you have explained it before. It's very difficult to find, and it's old style. The facade is old style, but inside is all modern, and it's already done. And all the white goods are new, and it's all painting, all renewed. Then at this price, 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms with the location is very difficult to find.
Yes, absolutely would agree with that, definitely, because it's something that is kind of got the characteristics of a resale, but the interior of a new build, because of obviously, as you discussed, how it's come about and how it's been acquired and how it's been developed over the years. So thank you very much for going over those two developments for me. It's been a fantastic help. And what we'll be doing is sending all the information out via a PDF. And that way you'll be able to see the floor plans, you'll be able to see the size of the property, generalized pictures of the area, the inside, etc. So you can gain a bit more of an understanding as to where your potential money would be going and if it would be the right purchase for you. Again, these are just 2 examples of properties that we feel during the market conditions of what we're in would be fantastic to pursue. I mean, one of the questions that we often get posed, Anna, is whether or not the developers in Spain are going to be reducing their prices because of the pandemic and everything that's going on globally. Have you seen any shift in that? Do you see that happening in the near future? What's your take on that?
I don't think the new developments are going to decrease the price because they have been stopping the construction for just 2 weeks, the most part of them. For the new developments, and here, well, the impression that I have with the clients is like, look at here now, you know, that the people that they wanted to buy before this, they continue wanting to buy, and maybe more of them with better condition that they say, okay, I have been working all my life, and now what I want to do is to spend some nice holidays in Spain with good weather, go to the beach, some lifestyle. And if I have some money and I want to invest in there, then they have already the idea to come to Spain and to buy something. They are going to come to buy. Then the developers know this. Then they say, at this moment, I haven't seen any developers that they have decreased the price. What they have done, us, for example, we do as well, is now we know that the condition that we are, then okay, we say like, well, even now, if they cannot fly, but if they want to book one apartment because they really like it and they don't want to lose the opportunity, they can pay the deposit. And then when the frontiers are going to be open, they need to come. If they come, they have 30 days to come. In 30 days, if they come, they come. They see the development and they say, well, definitely, I thought that it was something different and I don't like it. We give the deposit back. If they say, no, me, I like it and I want, we continue with the purchase and that's it. Then what I'm seeing now is that the developers for new builds as us, what we are doing is like to put more facilities for the clients because they cannot come now to see and visit with us, but not to decrease the price because it's something that is going to be short term, but we are going to, after a few months, we expected that everything is going to recover and we are going to continue doing the visit and making sales as always.
Brilliant. Brilliant. So we're trying to be as flexible as we can, but developers really are being quite firm, and they're not sort of offering any incentives. As I sort of mentioned on previous discussions, we are working with some developers that may be sort of looking at sort of air conditioning units, or something to maybe sweeten the deal. But on the whole, the prices are really sort of staying steadfast, and then they're sort of sticking to their guns in that respect. So, yeah, fantastic. Anna, thank you very much. If you don't mind staying online in case we have any questions moving forward.
Yeah, of course. No
Thank
problem.
you very much.
Thanks.
So we'll just sort of look at the questions that's come through. I've got a few questions that you've sort of put across to me. I noticed that some people haven't got some PDFs. Apologies if you haven't. We'll make sure that gets resent as soon as possible. So looking at closing costs, again, we have covered this on the previous discussion. So please refer back to the previous discussion with amounts, because the legal advisors there really do go into quite some detail regarding the closing costs on properties, exactly what you will spend and where your money is going to go and why. But just on a general figure, if you budget for about 15% of the property value, usually it's probably as high as maybe 12 to 14%. But if you budget for 15 as an absolute max, it's always nice to get money back in your pocket rather than having to keep on shelling out on a sort of continual basis. But that will cover all your legal expenses, including the acquiring of the NIE number, which is what you need obviously when buying a property here, opening a bank account, buying a vehicle, etc. One of the other questions that we had was golden visa, is that just for the property at 500,000 euros? And the answer to that is yes. So if you do decide to go for a golden visa and that's something of interest to you, 500,000 euros is what you would need to spend on the property itself. Now, if you want to buy a property with a mortgage, the cash that you will need to spend on that property has to be 500,000 euros and above. It cannot be any less than that to qualify. So hopefully that answers that question for you. 150,000 euro rental property, is that a good budget? I would say absolutely. You've obviously heard from Anna today that we've got two great selection of properties which are brilliant. I mean, I cannot stress that enough. If you want something which is more focused towards the golfing market, if you're a golfer yourself, or if you want something that's more of a holiday home feel, then you've got two fantastic opportunities there to go in below the 150,000 euro, including all your legal fees. You can probably buy some furniture in that cost as well. And if there's enough change, maybe even a Christmas present for me, who knows. Brexit and where things stand after Brexit. Now, this is obviously a very tricky question to try and cover, because we're kind of not in the know at the moment as what's going to happen post-December. But what I can say is that many people from all walks of life are buying property here. So it very much depends if it's going to be for a holiday home, if you're planning on retiring here and you're planning on becoming a resident. So again, amounts, the legal advisors that we had on our last webinar, they go into quite some detail regarding post-Brexit, what is likely to happen and what you can do to put yourself in a good position now. I would say that if you start the process now, it's going to hold you in good stead moving forward. And that's why you'll see there is a huge rush for people to try and get their residency before the end of the year, especially if they're currently living here at the moment. But we just don't know what agreements are going to be struck up between, obviously, Spain and the UK. So retirement locations in Spain, many retirement locations in Spain. A lot of people find that Murcia is a slightly quieter and more relaxed way of life than Alicante. So most people decide to retire in the south, in Murcia, but there are spots in Alicante which I wouldn't say are retirement destinations per se, but they do have a huge expat community of people over the age of 50 and in that demographic. Capital gains tax, as I've quickly mentioned, we've got some more information on the previous webinar. I think there was a PDF that somebody hasn't received, which I will get sent out again. Dollars to purchase. If you are an American who has US dollars, can you purchase a property here? Absolutely no problem at all. The easiest and most convenient way would be to find a money exchange company who can exchange your US dollars into euros. And what that would do is obviously allow you to buy a property here depending on the exchange rate. I can put you in contact with a company and they will be able to guide you through that process in a bit more detail. Better to choose a local agent rather than a general one. And what we mean, what I gather the question is meaning by that is, Obviously, estate agencies, you can find small firms and you can find big firms. You can find firms that do, like we do, a whole range of properties up and down the coastline, or ones that just really specify and specialize in one particular area. What I will say is it's using local knowledge. I would say it's easier to gain a good scope into the whole of the area, unless you have, let's say, for instance, you've been to a holiday destination when you were a kid and you've gone there for the past 12 years and you know the area inside out, and it's only that area that you want to buy and you really want to focus and detail yourself into that one area. Even in that respect, I would say that we can still help. Although we don't specialize in one particular area, we do work and liaise with all the local agents up and down the coastline. So there isn't really a wrong or a right way to look at that. I would say if you want a broader scope, by all means, go with a company that can give you more choice. Is there any more questions? I think we have a few more questions that's come in as the conversation has gone on. So Tia, are you on the line? Are you able to see if there's any more questions for me?
Hi, Ben. Yes, we've had a few questions come through. I think it was more for Anna. It's come through a couple of times with regards to the community fees for the developments. People are wondering whether or not these are going to increase. Because I know Anna said that they were, I think it was €100 a month. Was that right? I mean, are they going to get higher than that?
No, they are not going to increase, because this one is just, now we are starting with the first block and the second block, okay? Then the first phase is going to be 4 blocks, but in total, we are going to do 16 blocks, okay? Then for the first phase, the community fees are already set up, but we already buy the plot for the 16 blocks, and the community fees are already set up for these 16 blocks. Then they are not going to increase. The same for the villas. We have starting now with the first phase, that is 17 villas, but in total they are going to be 50. And this plot is already set up and is already we have already bought. Then no, they are not going to increase here.
So they'll be the same, as someone's just asked, they'll be the same in 5 years' time. They're never going to change?
No.
Okay.
No.
And are they ready now, or are they being currently sold off plan?
Yeah, no, well, the first block is almost ready. The completion is going to be in August this year, and we have sold 80%. And the second block have already started as well. It is going to be completed in March next year. We have sold 10%. For the villas, the same. The villas, yes, are off plan, because at this moment we are going to get the show house in 2-3 months. There are already 3 villas sold of this 17, and we have just starting. We have starting in February, and well, we have stopping just for 15 days in April. That we have no more other option than stopping the construction for 15 days. But we are going to have the show house in less than 3 months. And for the apartments, there is already a show house as well ready.
And are they going to be sold furnished, or is there furniture options available?
No,
on top of
they
the
have
price?
furniture options available, but not furnished.
Okay. I'm just having a look. I think you guys covered most of the questions as you were going along. So unless anyone's got any additional questions to add, if anyone wants to take themselves or use this opportunity to take themselves off mute, I mean, unless Anna or Ben has anything else to say, I think we can wrap up, essentially.
Well, the only thing, just because Ben has mentioned about Murcia, it's true that Murcia before, it was just a very local market and not a lot of construction. But after 2 years, because there was more focusing in Alicante, the price in Alicante has, for the new build, go up a little bit. Then there are more and more developers going to Murcia, because they have found that it's a very good person, because you have also it was also due to the opening of the new international airport in Murcia. Then that's make developers say, okay, we are going to invest in Murcia because the price of the land is cheaper. You have the beaches as well, and you have the connection with the international airport, and you have all the conditions to start to develop in Murcia. Then, of course, when you see one development in Murcia, for example, this one that we are doing now in Mirador del Condado in Murcia, is because we have done this same development in Alicante. We have done 6 years ago. But now, if we want to do it again and start it, the price will start in 180,000 in Alicante, and they are starting 100,000 in Murcia. Then we say, okay, we are going to do this same development, but we are going to change the location. Instead of building in Alicante again, we are going to move to Murcia because you have more investment options, and it's going to be easy to sell it, and it's going to be more beneficial for the clients as well, because they are going to pay a very good price for the same development.
And it's correct in assuming as well. I mean, obviously, I know the area quite well, but for anyone who hasn't been, Murcia is an up-and-coming region. It's an up-and-coming area. And now with the international airports making it very accessible for international flights now, which obviously the flights are not as frequent as Alicante, but this will change as months go on. And
of course,
the capital, so that the capital appreciation in the properties is going to rise ergonomically. It's going to be a natural growth because people will start to frequent into the area on a regular basis, which is going to be great for rentals, great for the price of property. So now would probably be, if you are wanting this as more of an investment rather than a holiday home, now is actually quite a good time to consider sort of looking at a project like this. Would that be correct? Is that right, Anna? What would you say?
Yeah, well, that is a very good option to buy properties in Murcia, because of course about the price. The price of the land compared to Alicante is half price. Then of course you can get more benefits buying there because you are going to buy cheap, and also you have as well after what I say before, you have all motorway, very good communication. You have the city of Murcia, for example, from this development. Murcia is just 30 minutes, the big city of Murcia. And in Cartagena is just 20 minutes from this development in Condado Alhama. Then you have two big cities, just the one in Murcia, you have 1 million of people living there, very close to each other. And very well communicated as well.
And regarding the utility bills, now, let's say, for instance, we just had a question come in regarding water and electricity. I know it's very, very hard to give any precise figures, but are you able to give an approximate figure? Let's say for a 2-bed, 2-bath, if somebody's using it, just going out during the day, maybe using it more in the evening, nothing too excessive.
Well, here, there are the good things that you have, that, for example, for light, that is the more expensive one compared to water. And the orientation that this development has is southwest. Then you have sun, and you have the living room, and you have the big windows. Then from the top to the floor, then you're going to have light all day. You don't during the day you are not going to use almost the light. Then you are not going to consume a lot. Then, and about the water, but you can pay around, I don't know, like. The water here in Spain, you pay one invoice every 3 months, and you can pay around 100 euros for water, and maybe per light you can pay roughly, I don't know, between 40 and 50 euros per month.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So has anyone got any further questions or anything that they would like to pose to us just while we're on the line? Obviously, I think my email address has come up. Please feel free to contact me via email. Again, if I am slightly delayed in replying, it's just because my laptop has the latest Windows updates, which has caused me to lose all my work. And now the laptop doesn't work, which is great. So please bear with me, but early next week, that should be resolved. But are there any further questions anyone would like to pose to myself or Anna?
Nothing's come through as of yet, but as usual, I mean, we will send a copy of the recording to everyone within 48 hours. And if anyone's got any follow-up questions, they can contact you directly. And I think it would be great to include the PDFs of the developments that Anna spoke about. So
yes, we'll get all of those PDFs sent out to, I think everyone who's registered for this webinar has left an email address. So we'll send out videos, PDFs, floor plans, you name it. We'll send out as much information as we possibly can. And we will hopefully, just to give you a bit of an update actually in terms of the situation here, things are starting to reopen, things are starting to move. So as of next week, we feel that freedom of movement would be slightly better. So we are hoping to do some video tours and actually take you now into the properties virtually. So that will hopefully give you a bit more of an understanding. And if it's not that particular property or that style of property, at least you know what the construction side, or the construction quality is like, the size of the property is like, and hopefully that will hold you in good stead moving forward. So yes, things are moving. I went to the market this morning to buy my fruit and veg, and I must say, over here, everyone is respecting the social distancing. People are wearing masks, and I think people are just wanting to do what they can so that we can see the back of this as soon as possible. So fingers crossed next week we'll be in a better place to offer that facility. But if there's no further questions, I would like to thank everyone for coming on board today and for spending the last hour with us. We will be back during the week next week, so watch out for the email, and have a fantastic Saturday, everyone.
Thank you very much. Have a fantastic
Bye-bye now.
Saturday. Thank you. Bye-bye.